got a whole bunch of new gear, a whole bunch of good clear speed now, and I got my buddy Varici here in my hideout. So, let's do a little look at my gear. Okay, first we have Feral's Bite. This gives us aspect of the cat and a lot of damage and crit. Aspect of the cat gives you movement speed. It also makes it so that enemies can't see you most of the time, which I think works with dodge. I'm not really sure, but it works really great with this build since I'm all crit chance and I go elemental overload. If you don't know what elemental overload is, it is when you deal a critical strike, you get 40% increased elemental damage, but you also lose your crit strike multiplier. So with this build, we are trying to get our critical strike chance up as much as we can, as well as spell damage. You want to get good life, and you also want to use a shield. A lot of people like to go dual wield. That's not too good once you hit late game, because when you can block, blocking a hit is a lot better than trying to mitigate it. For boots, we got Tri-Res with life, pretty standard. Belt, we have a Headhunter, which is great for clear speed. I actually earned this. But what you can use instead is a Bisco's Leash. It works perfectly well for a belt, mostly because Rampage. And Rampage also gives you damage, I think, or something like that, per stack cast speed. But this is a good alternative if you can't afford a Headhunter yet. Most people can't. Gloves, standard, really high resistances. Crit chance with shock, that was a good roll. These I'm going to replace. Mark of the Shaper, this is good for the volatile anomaly. This is the big galaxy circles that drop in the Shaper fight, I believe. And they do cold damage over time. And with this build, we use Winter Orb. So you're going to be doing cold damage. You're going to have things affecting your cold damage and spell damage and whatnot. My armor needs to be replaced. Currently I'm using a 6-link with life. Currently working on 6-linking my Carcass Jack, because this gives us really good AoE. Area of effect can be stacked, like really high. If I open up my skill tree, we have area of effect here on Pendulum of Destruction. And then we have even more area of effect right over here. And I'm sure maybe right over here there's more area of effect. So with this build, area of effect is really important. That your Herald of Ice explodes. Where is it? There it is. Okay, Herald of Ice. It explodes, does a bunch of cold, but then it also grants us Onslaught, so you want to link that up. I also have Malevolence in here, and Enlighten. This makes it so that with aspects of the cat's 25% reserve, we can include Malevolence. I lost it again. We can include Malevolence, which is great for skill effect duration. Now, if you haven't used Winter Orb before, you gain stacks in the top left very fast, but then see how they fall off over 7 seconds? That's pretty good because my skill effect duration's up. Now if you don't have skill effect duration like Malevolence, it's going to fall right off. It would be already gone by now. Anyway, so when you have Mark of the Shaper, you want to make sure that your other ring is a Elder Ring so that you can activate the increased spell damage if your other ring is an Elder item. Also, our amulet is a Pandemonious. That also helps with the blind. Chill enemy for 1 second when hit, reducing their action speed by 30%. Blind chilled enemies on hit. That's really good because it works in sync with Feral's Bite. The last stat there. Also on my ring, on the other one, I have Curse enemies with level 8 Warlord's Mark on hit. That means that we have constant endurance charges on our character because we keep killing things. And if you go here, cast from damage taken, super important. I have another one somewhere. There it is. Cast when damage taken and Immortal Call. Like, this should be pretty standard. It's in like mostly every build. Cast when damage taken, Immortal Call. Now with this, giving us our Warlord's Mark on hit, Immortal Call will always be proccing when we take damage. Really good for survivability. So over here we have our movement skill, which is Shield Charge with Fortify, faster attacks. And I have Arcane Surge on there because I was it actually procs sometimes when I'm moving, like this, and it will use mana, and it will end up proccing my Arcane Surge, which in turn gives you spell damage. Really good. Okay, I think that's good for gear. Let's try to 6-link this. Of course not. I'm already about 2x down from that. Okay. Flasks, forgot about those. Rumi's Concoction, this is intertradable here. I'll show you how these flasks work. It's not too in-depth, but it makes sense. Sapping Divine Life Flask of Staunching, this is specifically for removing bleeding. When you're running through thickets of mobs, blowing everything up, you're going to notice little orbs, red orbs flying around you. That's bleeding. Smash the number 1, bleeding goes away, keep killing. This one I use, and this has saved my butt so many times playing this game. This is instant recovery. Now when your health is down and you just need to get back up to full health because you're about to die in a boss fight, smash your instant recovery flask. Get that health back. Dying Sun, really good for projectiles, area of effect again, but it's also good for fire damage mitigation, so you got fire coming at you, use that. But this is good. Overflowing Chalice. Now this is the bread and butter of the whole flasking situation. Before you engage any mob, you want to activate this flask, because when you activate these 3, but you want to have this one up all the time so that when you kill things, your other flasks get charges faster, and you get charges by killing things, so you want to use this before you kill. But you also want to have these up, but when this is up, these will come back faster. You know what I mean? So you'll have more flasking capabilities. Might as well take a peep at what my skills are down here too. Val Discipline, really good just for survivability. Winter Orb, pretty standard. Shield Charge for the movement. Focus to activate the double damage on my shield. Flame Dash just to get over gaps. And let's check out these links. Infused Channeling, greater multiple projectiles. Ice Bite gives you frenzy charges, added cold, very nice, chance to freeze, which also helps with our Herald of Ice. Increased critical strike support, level 21, that was a good hit. This increases our crit chance to shoot. Let's go to Winter Orb. 38, but my guy will go invisible here in a moment. Yep, Aspect of the Cat jumps it up to 47.16, which is really good, considering you have so many projectiles with greater multiple projectiles, and you're attacking so fast, and there's the Herald of Ice. There's so many sources of damage, you're always critting, but there's no multiplier like I was saying earlier with Elemental Overload. But it's okay, crit's a crit. Do an amazing amount of damage. So I think that's enough about my gear. I have Discipline up there, the Val one, just to use it. Flame Dash for gaps. That's pretty much it. Ooh, yeah, one more cast from damage taken. I have my Golem on there because I'm lazy. I don't want to keep recasting. That'll like always be up. Tempest Shield, super important. A lot of people don't use it, but cast from damage taken, Tempest Shield is really good if you use a shield. Gives you block chance and lightning damage. And it doesn't really matter like lightning damage. I'm cold and I'm getting lightning damage, not a big deal. But the big thing is the block. Alright, let's run a map real quick. Pimp out this Pitovich Chimera. We'll see if we can do it. SpongeBob's on in the background. But we'll be fine. I'll turn off my mic here. Let's get a good run. Show off what this character can do.
I need more mana.
crucible that stretches the sanity of the mind.
And that's the build. Thanks for watching.